What if I told you a man walked with Jesus, talked with him, saw miracles with his own eyes, and still ended up lost forever? Not a stranger, not an enemy, a disciple. His name was Judas Iscariot, and today we're asking one of the deepest questions. Did Judas go to heaven or hell? Stay with me because this is not just about Judas. This might be about you. Judas was one of the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ. That means he was not far from God. He was close, very close. He woke up near Jesus. He traveled with Jesus. He listened to every teaching. He saw blind people receive sight. He saw the lame walk. He saw demons flee. He even saw the dead come back to life. Imagine that. Judas saw what many people today pray to see, yet something inside him was not right. The Bible shows us that Judas was trusted with money. He carried the money bag for the group, but quietly, secretly, he was stealing from it. No one knew. On the outside, he looked like a follower. On the inside, something dangerous was growing. And this is how it starts for many people. It doesn't start big. It starts small, hidden, silent. One day, Judas made a decision that changed everything. He went to the religious leaders and asked a simple but dangerous question. "What will you give me if I hand him over to you?" They offered him 30 pieces of silver. Just 30. That was the price. He traded Jesus for money. Think about that. The one who gave him purpose, the one who gave him a place, the one who loved him, sold. Later that night, Judas came with soldiers to arrest Jesus, but he didn't point at him. He kissed him. A kiss was the sign, a sign of love turned into betrayal. And Jesus looked at him and said, "Friend, do what you came to do." Friend. Even in betrayal, Jesus still called him friend. That alone should make you think. After Jesus was taken away, something broke inside Judas. He realized what he had done. The guilt hit him. He went back with the money and said, "I have sinned. I betrayed innocent blood." But listen carefully. This is where everything changes. Judas felt regret, but he did not return to God. Instead of running back, he ran away. And in his pain, in his shame, in his despair, he ended his life. Now here is a deep question. Was that enough to separate him from God forever? Jesus said something very serious about Judas. It would have been better for him if he had not been born. Think about that. No one in heaven would be described that way. Jesus also called him the son of perdition, meaning destruction. And later it says Judas went to his own place. When you put all of this together, many believe Judas did not go to heaven. But let's slow down for a moment, because this is not just about what Judas did. It's about what he did not do. Another disciple also failed, Peter. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. He said, "I don't even know him," 3 times. So why is Peter remembered as forgiven, but Judas is remembered as lost? The answer is simple but deep. Peter ran back to Jesus. Judas ran away from Jesus. Peter cried, but he returned. Judas cried, but he gave up. That is the difference. Not perfection, direction. One ran toward grace, the other ran into despair. And this is where the message becomes personal, because many people today are like Judas. They feel bad about their mistakes. They feel guilt. They feel shame. But instead of running to God, they hide. They give up. They think, "I've gone too far." But listen carefully. As long as you are alive, you have a chance. Judas's story is not just a story of betrayal. It is a warning. You can be close to God and still be far from Him in your heart. You can hear truth and still reject it. You can feel sorry and still not change. But you don't have to end like Judas. You can choose differently. You can run back. No matter what you have done, no matter how far you feel, God is still calling you. The question is, will you run to Him or away from him.